Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are. So, what's the time, Mr. Walsh? It's nearly 4:15 in the evening in our old England, my delicious little babies. It's extremely windy outside, it's very chilly, but the sky's blue. For a change, my delicious little babies, well, it looks blue anyway. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's the weather forecast. Now then, I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously. My delicious little babies, that doesn't mean no. Now then, where should I start first? Where do I begin? Right, okay. So we're going to get to the first one, okay, my delicious little babies, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 today, okay, my delicious little babies. So, all on YouTube. These are my delicious little babies. Okay, so the first one. This uploader happens to have 9.31 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? I've been having a little mooch, for what I can find for you, my delicious little babies, okay? It's a strange world, a very strange, strange world. Anyway, we've always known that, haven't we, my delicious little babies? But for those of us, which we are, whatever our definition of normal is, we are normal. And, there's a lot of madness that goes on, very sadly, my delicious little babies. But anyway, this uploader is called, I flipping forgot to flipping write down the uploader. Okay, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, this video is I think is it 11 minutes long, my delicious little babies, or maybe just over. If you could please and thank you type in, I've got it there, but I cannot do it now, my delicious little babies. In the older space bar in old YouTube, my delicious little babies, disturbing, all spaces, disturbing, okay, her abuse was filmed for online views, okay, my delicious little babies. And it's, I'm going to spell it for you, Jar Jar, okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. If you could please and thank you type in disturbing, okay, her abuse was filmed for online views, Jar Jar. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, why am I mentioning this? This is in China, my delicious little babies. And this is to do with, it's a little girl who was born, and she has one of these, I've forgotten it now, what it's called, my delicious little babies, okay? And she's got like a rare condition, like where you look older and, your features and everything. You'll know what I mean, my delicious little babies. And they started doing, was it these TikTok videos or something, okay? And, well, anyway, it shows where Jar Jar, I'll spell that for you, X-R-A-O. Okay, my delicious little babies, Jar Jar. Okay. Now, it shows where, she's getting very irritated. She's throwing things around. Her mum, because it's all, Chinese, her mum, seems to be, it looks like clearly, looking after her account. And little Jar Jar in parts, he's not looking like a very happy little bunny. Okay. Well, it appears that, to be fair, I mean, you would have thought that, because this is like, I think it's Chinese version of TikTok. TikTok. Well, they seem to have allowed this, my delicious baby. So one's used to watch, my juice little lads. 3, 2, 1, my juice little lads. Thank you, little lads, you're delicious and bright. Sorry, my delicious little babies, I've just remembered. Well, the Chinese government seem to be, from what I can hear of this video, very fine with this. Okay, my delicious little babies. How ones can see this as entertainment, I just do not know, my delicious little babies, to myself. straight away, I thought that was, you're exploiting your little bairn, your little daughter. But it's amazing, isn't it? What ones will do for ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Do you see what I mean? Okay. So that's the first one, Madlish Look Baby. Should anybody happen to have any form of an interest? Well, there was one part towards the end of the video, Madlish Look Babies, where this man, he had a mask on, so you could not see him, Madlish Look Babies. And poor little Jar Jar was put in a clear plastic bag. So he's holding the plastic bag, so there's no air for little Jar Jar to breathe, and he just carries her around like that. Do you see what I mean? But then there's another one where she was in a carrier bag, and, one was holding one hand or somebody else was holding the other, and she didn't seem to find that, maybe very disturbing. But if you look at the other one, it clearly is disturbing, Madlish Look Babies, Kai. Very. But anyway, so that's that one, Madlish Look Babies. Now, the second one. But anyway, it turns out little Jar Jar is happier these days. So it looks like, she's been treated better, Madlish Look Babies, Kai. Now, the next one, Madlish Look Babies, I'm only halfway through listening to this. Now, for some of you, Madlish Look Babies, you may have already watched this video. For others of you, Madlish Look Babies, you may not have done. But this uploader happens to have 886,000 subscribers, Madlish Little Babies, okay? And this uploader is called, I'll spell it for you. Is it Nitrous? I'll spell it for you. Capital N, I, then capital T, then R, I, S. Okay, Madlish Look Baby, space, capital T, capital V, TV. I don't know if it's nitrous or nitrous, but that word's all together, nitrous or, nitrous. Then space, like I say, TV, capitals. That's the uploader. And this video, I think it's about nearly 32 minutes long, and it should read, industry model saw the most disturbing satanic ritual, chilling details. Okay, Madlish Look Baby, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Industry model saw the most disturbing satanic ritual, chilling details. Yeah, she's what she's doing is she's a Liverpudlian, bless. I do like the Liverpudlian accent, actually, Madlish Look Babies, okay? But the uploader, he does not understand. I think he's American. He does not understand all of the words that she's saying. I do, Madlish Look Babies, and you would as well. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't, bless him. And of course, with anybody not in that way. But it's just that he said, if you know what she was saying, do you know what I mean? Okay. Well, I mean, this is very serious, okay? And she says it herself. She thought that it's, to do with these... because he said, do you want to be in a club and everything, I presume she's going back many years ago. And she said, yes, And she said, oh, maybe this is what rich, men and whatever, women, whatever, you know what I mean? Words to effect. The rich, basically. Things that they get up to, Madlish Look Babies. Well worth, there we are, a listen, Madlish Look Babies. I think it's about a month ago now, this video. I'll listen to the other half when I come off my video to you all, Madlish Look Babies. Okay, but yeah, well worth a listen. I mean, it is very. I just think, some of these things that they do, there we are, which I've known for years. But if somebody was to ask myself, do you want to be in my club? I really would say no. Okay, Madlish Look Babies, it's just not my kind of thing. But I don't know why. Maybe she had another reason for it. I don't know. I haven't listened to the other half, Madlish Look Babies, okay? She's been interviewed by, I know he's Bowtray. She's been interviewed by, Oh, I can't remember his name now. Anyway, Marzlish Baby, so that's that one. Now, this one here, this upload of Marzlish Babies, capital J, Jamal. So it's, I'll spell it for you, JAMEL underscore, then these in capitals, ACA, capital A, K, capital A. They're all capitals, Marzlish Babies, underscore, and then Jamal. So that's capital J, AMAL. Okay, so it should read, once tapped into old YouTube, Marzlish Baby, should anybody happen to have any form of interest, Jamal, so it's the E first, then underscore RK or AK, underscore Jamal, then it's A. Do you see what I mean? Okay, just spelled differently, you know. This upload happens to 1.19 million subscribers, my delicious little babies. And now this was interesting. I think it's about 20 odd minutes. I think, was it? I think so. It could be 30, between 24 and 30. And it should read, the movie Him revealed way too much. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. The movie Him revealed way too much. Now, why am I mentioning this one, Marzlish Babies? So there's quite a mixture of different videos today, Marzlish Babies. There we are. There's always method to what I do. They're talking here about football, and I think, was it to do with the NFL or something? And then they're showing part of the film, so the uploader is showing part of the film, okay? And what this talks about, just very briefly, that basically this is not just a film. Okay, Marzlish Babies, that's basically what this is about, this video, Marzlish Babies. I'm not really into films, Marzlish Babies. I haven't watched films for forever, for decades, for years, okay? It's very rare you'd ever see, a rarity you'd ever see myself watch a film, okay? I'm just not a, you know, a filmy kind of a woman, if you know what I mean, okay? I mean, maybe years ago I used to watch a few more, you know, different types of films, but no, I haven't watched for years, Marzlish Babies. But for those who do watch films, then you may have already watched this film, and if you have already watched this film, well, the thing is, you've got to be able to, there we are, to follow it. Okay, there we are, Marzlish Babies. That's basically what your uploads there, your man there is saying. It's just an old-fashioned Irish, you know, where they say your man, your woman. Do you know what I mean? They don't mean, you know, your man, your woman. Do you know what I mean, Marzlish Babies? It's an Irish thing, do you say? Well worth a listen to that, Marzlish Babies, because this, which I've known for years, but the thing is, this is about grooming, you know, from when somebody's very, very young now. Okay, so I don't know whether in some cases it may be football, in some cases you never know, it's celebrities like singers. Do you see what I mean, Marzlish Babies, like that now then? Well worth listen to this video, Marzlish Babies, as well. Well, they all are actually. Right. This one here, Marzlish Babies, happens to have 228,000 subscribers, Marzlish Babies. And it is called, the uploader is called, capital C, China's, space, capital F, fact, space, capital C, chasers. Okay, Marzlish Babies. So it is China's fact chasers. Okay, Marzlish Babies. Now, these are the same two men, bless them, not in that way, not in that way, who have their own channel, The China Show, on YouTube, Marzlish Babies, okay? And there we are. They do their utmost, there we are, to be as truthful, there we are, as possible. Okay, Marzlish Babies. This is nearly 9 minutes long, Marzlish Babies. And the video should read, China's, I think this was a day ago, or was it a few days ago when it was uploaded? China's wild new virus is out of control. Okay, Madlish, slick baby, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? China's new virus is out of control. Okay, Madlish, slick babies, this is actually vile, actually, but it shows the state of affairs in China. Okay, Madlish, slick babies, now ones are going in, clearly going in to one's homes. Okay, well, I mean, that's like breaking in, isn't it? And then stealing plants. There's a lot of poison that's been sprayed everywhere. In one part, this man breeds fish so that he can sell the fish. They come into his place, spray all this poison, and all the fish are passed away, bless them. Okay, Marzlichtig babies. They're spraying all of this stuff on all of the soil and everything, Marzlichtig babies. Okay, so what are the putrid poxy government over there doing about it? Can you see? Marzlichtig babies, okay? Now, what is he saying about maybe, because what my thoughts was, well, what about in the world? What about if products are, because we don't know, do we? I mean, there could be some products, I'm sure that there must be, where they're shipped from China, and even like tomatoes and everything, Marzlichtig babies, you know what I mean? And then it's getting shipped around the world. You know, and what about things like miso? You know, I get a lot of, there we are, miso in a year, Marzlichtig babies. I just happen to like that as, you know, as a soup. And in China, they eat, you know, they have a lot of soup, miso. Do you see what I mean, Marzlichtig babies? You know, you just put a bit of chili, bit of garlic, bit of onion. Do you know what I mean? And I usually do it with proper, good quality cod. You know what I mean? So, like flakes, you know what I mean? And it's really lovely, you know, if you want it with crusty bread or, you know, a few noodles or something like this, or even, you know, if you've got maybe a little rice dish, a rice dish. Do you see what I mean, Marzlichtig baby? It's very nice. It's very good for you, okay? Despite what they say about soya beans. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that, okay, Marzlichtig babies? But this is very dangerous. So it's China again, Marzlichtig babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay. Well, I personally do not fancy getting poisoned. Neither would yourselves, Marzlichtig babies. Okay. I'm not saying that something's not made in England or maybe another way, you know. But if it's coming from China, then you know there could be a problem, couldn't there? You know, if it's going to poison, there we are, us out here, Marzlichtig babies in the world. Do you see what I mean? Okay. Very serious, Marzlichtig babies. And they've got other really good banging videos on their channel as well, Marzlichtig babies. But you've got the China show. You've also got the one does, I think it's Winston, he does Serpentez. I have advertised his long time ago. And then you've got his friend there. I forgot his flipping name now. And his channel is Lamo, capital L-A-O. Lamo, is it 86? Could be Lamo 86 with the 86 numbers, Marzlichtig babies, okay? But they both have their own channels as well, Marzlichtig babies, okay? Well, worth a quick watch of that video as well, Marzlichtig babies. Now, finally, and then I'm going to close my book. So this uploader here happens to have 189,000 subscribers, Marzlichtig babies, and this uploader is called Pepe Zilla. So I'm just going to spell that for you, Marzlichtig babies. This is the uploader. Capital P, E-P-E, then Z, I-R-L-L-A, Pepezilla. Okay, maadelijk babies, and I think this is about 24 minutes long or something, maadelijk babies, and the video should read maadelijk babies. Streamers kill, yes, kill, maadelijk babies, their friend. Well, I wouldn't say that they're very nice friends, maadelijk babies. Sorry, stumbled there. Every right to do that. For views, full story. My delicious little babies, and you actually see for yourself how they treat this poor man. So I'm going to repeat it again for you, shall I? Streamers kill their friend for views, full story. Okay, my delicious little babies, now we need to go backwards to where we need to get back to. Now then, my delicious little babies, what's this about? So this video basically is this poor man. He was living at home, I think with his mother, and he was on benefits. Anyway, he started his channel, which was, you know, these computer games, maadelijk baby. So he started his channel doing that, and he was feeling happy because at least he had others, you know, to communicate with, you know, in the gaming world and everything. By the way, this platform is called Kick, as in you kick a ball, Kick. I have heard of it, maadelijk babies, because there are some uploaders who are actually upload their videos onto Kick. Okay, maadelijk babies can. And then what then happens is somehow these are supposedly supposed to become friends, maadelijk babies, but you're talking about, is it 3 or 4 men? And they start really physically abusing this poor man called John. Okay, maadelijk babies. But he doesn't leave. He gets angry at times, but he doesn't leave because he wants to have a family one day, and he wanted to have, you know, a wife. You know, he'd never been married. He'd never even ever had a girlfriend. Maadelijk babies cat. But what he wanted to do was try to earn enough so that he could have this life that he'd, bless him, you know, not in that way, that he'd mapped out for himself, okay? Of course, these putrid pieces of shit thought otherwise, maadelijk babies, if you could see the level of abuse. Okay, maadelijk babies. Now, this uploader, who I've just mentioned, this video, he's shown as much as what he can, maadelijk babies, okay? Now, I know that obviously why he's doing it is to make, there we are, others aware, okay? The ending was, this poor man, John, they threw like this empty, the one did. There's such a piece of shit, it's unreal, maadelijk babies. I'm not going to tell you what my real thoughts are, maadelijk babies, okay? Because I tell you what, I'll just get, there we are, so damn angry and vexed. So it's just best, actually, that I just do not say anything more, you know, to do with my thoughts on it, okay? Here come the clouds. And then they throw this plastic, the one throws the plastic empty water bottle, you know, thinking that John's asleep. Well, no, John's passed away in his sleep, maadelijk babies, do you know what I mean? At one point, they had like a chain, you know, like a long chain, you know, pulling him and, yeah. You know, just go and crack something off his head, whether it be an egg or something harder, you know. Cover him in paint, oh, you name it. And this is to do with a French, maadelijk babies, okay? And so may John rest in peace. Me personally, I wouldn't have, you know, stood for it. I just would have left. I mean, they're not friends. They're putrid creatures. Like I said, I'm not going to say anything more. But if you see it, marvellous little babies, for some of you, I don't know, maybe this has popped up or something, you may have seen it, but for others of you, you may not. But may poor John rest in peace. He never did get the family that he wanted, did he, marvellous little babies? You know, not even a girlfriend. And what was worse is that John's mother, yeah, that flipping hag, because that's what she is. There we are. That's what she is. She's clearly either bought off, there we are, or something, because she was saying that it's not the men's fault what happened to her son. Very strange, isn't it, marvellous little babies? Because if you know, and the video's there we are, quite clearly to see. And she says that it's not their fault. Well, of course it is. They caused his passing. Do you see what I mean, marvellous little babies, Kai? That is a fact. What they did to that poor man. Do you see? And he had to take medication for his heart, and they withheld that. They're wicked and putrid. They'd even choke him to the point to do with his thyroid and everything, marvellous little babies. They were wicked putrid. I'm not going to say no more. All for larks. And this is her France, marvellous little babies. Do you see what I mean, okay? So it appears to myself that could be anywhere, actually, because YouTube are very good at, you know, let's just say. So anybody who, you know, wants to talk about medically, like, say, to get ones better or to try and help ones, you know, you do not get many views or anything. But, I mean, if you want to upload, you know, could say the same about Kick, the same TikTok, you know, like this now then. But these type of videos seem to skyrocket in numbers, marvellous little babies, you know what I mean? What it makes myself see as well, marvellous little babies, is the mentality of some folk out there and who would actually pay to watch things like that now then. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. Highly sickening. And very lastly, I'll have to tell you about this other video tomorrow. Is it Somalia? I'll have to write the video down and tell you, unless you know, want to take a look yourselves, marvellous little babies, on old YouTube. Yeah, I think it's only nearly 3 minutes long, marvellous little babies. In Somalia, apparently, only from what I've seen on, you know, I haven't clicked on it. It's only from what I, you know, so please don't quote me, but, you know, it could very well, there we are, be true. They've changed the age of marriage. So no longer can men marry little bairns. But apparently they're very upset about this. They're crying. They're very upset that they cannot marry little bairns. Do you see the sick and twisted world that we're in, marvellous little babies? Do you see what I mean? That a big man will cry because he cannot marry a little bairn. Dirty little paedophile man. Do you see? Marvellous little babies. There's a recent video, actually, that's only about over 8 minutes, of Shady Shay. I do mention him occasionally, marvellous little babies. He's now at 1.01 million on YouTube, marvellous little babies. Shady, S-H, I'll spell it, A-D-Y space S-H-A-E. Okay, marvellous little babies. And he shows, like, this little bit of footage to do with a little 13-year-old girl. It's just so sad, because she had to stop her studying. She's in the studio. She's talking to this presenter, and he's asking her questions, and she's answering. She only, I think, met the man when he proposed to her. He's clearly a lot older than her, my delicious little babies. So she doesn't do any more studies. What she does from, morning till night is, basically cook, clean, iron and wash, for him and his family. Okay, Mads, little baby, she's not allowed to say anything. Okay? And then what does she say? Then she has to be ready for her husband at the end of the day. So after doing all that, then she has to be ready for her husband, if you follow my meaning, Mads, little babies. If you say no, then they beat you for saying no. Okay, Mads, little babies. So, yeah, and poor share, bless him, not in that way. He's the most upset about this. But, of course, I've seen a lot, there we are, videos, Mads, little babies on this type of putrid behaviour, Mads, little babies. Now, finally, so we got here NHS. Okay, Mads, little babies. Now, I received this a couple of days ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it so we can see what this is. Okay. Oh, yeah, bowel cancer screening. That's what this is, my delicious babies, okay? Okay. Mids, and I assume that's Northwest. Bowel cancer screening program, hub, my delicious babies, yes, stumbled there, rightfully so. Hospital of St Cross, Barbie Road, Rugby. My delicious babies, okay? Because that's the envelope that you put it in to return it, my delicious babies. Now then, this is a test kit. That's the test kit, my delicious little babies, that. So, dry. That's it, my delicious little babies. Now, I assume, sorry, excuse me. Right, what it's asking you to do, basically, do not let your poo touch the toilet water. I'm not laughing, my delicious babies. It's just caught my attention. Use a container or layers of toilet paper to catch your poo. And then you do not, so it's not meant to hit inside the bowl, the water. My delicious babies. Twist the cap to open the sample bottle. Collect sample by scraping the stick along the poo until all grooves are covered. We only need a little poo to test. Please do not add extra. So, come on. Please do not add extra. So it sees you got a joker here, isn't it? That's from what I can see. So they don't want extra shart. They just want a tiny bit of shart, so that they can misdiagnose you. So can you see, what's the point to everything what I'm saying, my delicious babies? How desperate the NHS are, my delicious little babies. You see, they're desperate for customers now, isn't it? You see how putrid this is, my delicious little babies? Now, you imagine, just imagine, my delicious little babies, okay? How many who receive this are going to maybe be frightened, or do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, okay? Now, let's just say they can twitch the numbers, can't they, my delicious little babies, okay? So they could say that somebody's got something, my delicious little babies, when they haven't got nothing at all. So they're looking for problems, clearly, isn't it? Here we go. We recently invited you to take part in an NHS bowel cancer screening. Your bowel cancer screening test kit is enclosed. Please return your kit within 2 weeks or as soon as possible. Yeah. Ka-ching, 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 we're in the money. We're in the money. Palantir's part of the NHS, aren't they? Instructions for using the kit printed on the inside of the box lid. Yeah. I've shown you that. It's full of instructions, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? Make sure you write down the date you took your sample on the bottle. Then return it in the prepaid packaging provided. Tell you what, they must be spending an awful lot. I mean, how much is a first class ticket? How much is a first class stamp? Is it £1.20 or £1.70? Can you hear the flipping joke here? My delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay. A copy of your screening result will be sent to your GP to keep your health records up to date, because it's all about the health, my delicious little babies. It's really all about the health. That's what you got to remember here, my delicious little babies. And they just couldn't wait to bang it in the post. They couldn't wait, could they, my delicious little babies? Piece of shit. Here we go. For every 100, ton people, we're not people, my delicious babies, completing the home kit, test kit, around 2 to 3 may need further tests. Now, do you see, my delicious babies? That is not just 2 to 3. And they're having a laugh here. Such as a colonoscopy. Gosh, that's a large word, isn't it, my delicious babies? Okay, a colonoscopy. Feels like I swallowed the dictionary with all these long words, that they have in the medical field. This does not mean we have found cancer. Simply that an examination of the inside of your large bowel, colon, is needed. It's really needed, my delicious babies, so that they can poke and prod at you, there we are, to create a problem. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? If you need help to use the kit, please call us or ask someone to call us or ask somebody. So they seem to think that for many, they're not capable of picking up the old dog and bone and calling them. So to ask somebody else. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So what have I got to say? Sorry, bless me, my delicious babies. I couldn't help that. So this has got my name on it. That. Let's get that off. Okay, my delicious little babies. What does this tell you, my delicious little babies? I'm not taking the mickey out of anybody who's had cancer, because in my own family, there's always very sadly, being somebody who's been very sadly diagnosed when I've just never been able to quite grasp how somebody can have lung cancer, which happened to one of my beautiful dear uncles. Not in that way, not in that way. To say that he had lung cancer, never drank, never smoked, never did anything mad to the babies, you know what I mean? Never sat in smoky areas, smoky pubs or anything like this now then. And they said he had lung cancer, mad to the babies. So how does that work then? And I wouldn't mind, but he was a beautiful dear uncle that anybody could have ever wished to have had. But that's what the NHS has done a lot of in these decades, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? So no, they won't be having a sample of my shart, my delicious little babies. I prefer it to go down the toilet and stay there. I don't really fancy tampering with my own shit for no reason at all. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But just you imagine, what's the point I'm making? How many households are going to be once again put into fear? Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So the best advice I could give for anybody, please, I know it's easier said than done sometimes, my delicious little babies, but please, I beg you in the Lord of mercy, try not to be overly worried about health and, you know, and things like this now then. Because otherwise, there we are, you can make yourself, bless, whoever crosses my video, you know, so kind enough. So thank you for any views and for any likes. But for ones could end up, making themselves very poorly, when clearly they were found, there we are, before that. Okay, my delicious baby, so that's going straight in the bin. So NHS, why don't you F off nicely? Get on your back, pedal fast and F right off nicely. Because you won't be getting a sample of my shit. Okay? And this is what as many as possible, 1,000 should do. Because then we won't receive this. You see what I mean? They're desperate. There we are. There we are. They're desperate. Desperate for fresher, sorry to have to put it this way, my delicious babies, fresh blood. There we are. That's what they're desperate for. Little vampires. Okay, my delicious babies. So wherever you are in the world, and I wasn't shouting at my delicious babies, you know I'd never do that. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little souls and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. How I love you so. And I hope that whether it is morning, afternoon or evening, please have a beautiful and wonderful time wherever you are. How I love you also. Take care. Thank you once again for listening. Love ya. Bye.